Hello and welcome to the final day of the Sainsbury's 2015 school games. And of course that means it's the final episode of the cool down. Here's what's coming up on the show. Ready to roll. Why these young volleyballers believe their sport has a bright future.
Leading the way, the female rugby players making their mark.
The pace hots up in the velodrome. We round up the best of the rest.
And we meet the triple gold medalist now setting her sights on Rio.
We're here at Sugden Sports Centre for Volleyball Finals Day. This event draws in some of the biggest crowds of the Sainsbury school games, and it's already a packed house inside. Scotland West and England Junior take on each other in the boys and the girls finals, so we're going to see how both matches develop, and we're going to find out just what makes volleyball so popular. First up on Finals Day was the boys' gold medal match. From the early exchanges it was apparent that England Junior were the stronger side, and they remained the dominant force throughout as they wrapped up a straight sets victory. The girls' final was a much tighter affair. England Junior lost the first set but won the second to draw level. However, in the third set the girls of Scotland West regained the momentum and won the decider. The crowds at the school games love it, but Team GB are not entering indoor volleyball in Rio next year after a failure to meet performance targets at London 2012.
Unfortunately, with no GB team, people won't watch the GB players, but there's still great teams like Brazil, Russia, USA, France are the world champions. Still great European sides that these teams can all connect with.
Volleyball is widely regarded as the world's second most popular sport. So what's preventing it from developing in this country?
That's very easy. It's to do with the mindset of the British population, people that unless it's not football, there is an incredible amount of sports out there, including volleyball, which we need to actually spend the time to invest in our young people in.
What's referred to volleyball needs to improve. When you hear volleyball, you'll think, oh, that's an entertaining sport. That's what we need to get out there.
Bearing that in mind, we asked how important the school games is in maintaining and developing volleyball in the UK.
This is probably the only multi-games event that these guys will ever get to go to. We've got national competitions, but a lot of them are sort of done in one day, similar format, but it's done in one day, go home, come back. Yeah, it's an absolutely perfect environment for these guys to experience.
There's no reason why volleyball couldn't attract more interest here in Britain. Indeed, it possesses all the necessary characteristics to become a high-profile sport.
I've played all kinds of sports, and there's a reason I chose volleyball. It's because I get the biggest thrill out of it. I enjoy it the most.
I think it's a really fast-paced game. It's really enjoyable to watch. I mean, you can see by how many fans we've got today.
It's fast, it's furious, it's quick, and there's no prima donnas rolling around on the floor.
For me, it's the sheer dynamics of it, the speed, the strength, the agility of all the athletes that goes on. I can't see any reason why it's not the best sport in the world.
I'm at the Armitage Centre to catch up on all the latest action from the girls-only event of Rugby Sevens. It was a fantastic day and I spoke to people from all levels of the sport. A lot of especially media focus is on men's rugby. How do you make sure that the women's rugby, the girls' rugby, that they get what they deserve?
I've been playing rugby since I was 6, so like for the past 14 years, and the amount of, even in my sort of playing career, I've seen a massive shift towards identifying women's rugby as a more viewable, accessible sport. The England girls have now become pro central contracted players, and so it's a professional, that's now their job, which is a massive boost for the sport in itself. The more attractive and more sort of supported the game can be, it can only grow even more.
It's quite a challenge, but we're seeing an absolute upturn in women and girls' participation in rugby. They want to play the sport, we know that. We've now got to give them the opportunities to be able to play. We've got to sort out our club structures in Wales in particular to make sure that actually they haven't got to travel miles and miles to be able to play rugby. We've got more opportunities going on in schools than ever before, so over the next year I would see that participation for the girls actually will probably fly through the roof.
And how do you keep motivated to carry on with the sport?
Well, I think literally we just love the sport. We've been doing it for 10 years. There's a reason we've kept it going this far. And we know it's events like this where you bring it all together and you say, right, we've got a gold medal. If we win these next 14 minutes, we've got a gold medal. And it's those days you wake up at 6 a.m, you've got to get to the gym before you go to school, all of that. It's times like this that make you realise why you do it.
Yeah, it just, at the end of the day, hard work does pay off. And so you doing all this extra stuff, going to the gym, doing your work, it will pay off in the end, and you'll be happy with it.
As children who start the sport move on to teenage and then the young adult, how do you make sure that they stay within the sport and not drop off?
You don't have to have been playing with the boys since you were 6 or 10 years old and moving through like I did. I mean, you can play a game of rugby at uni and you can get picked up by a number of talent development officers who can move you into the pathway through that. But I think it's keeping the purpose of the games and enjoyment, keeping that teamwork, keeping that love for the game fresh in the girls. I think that's a really important thing. And that comes from a number of different things, really.
We're seeing quite an interest in terms of the teenage years for rugby. We're seeing a positive impact within our more deprived communities, our community first areas, because the girls like the social element of being involved in a rugby club. So it's really critical that we use that to our advantage to make sure that we retain girls in the sport.
So you're part of the England squad. How are you able to convey your experiences to the girls here?
To be fair, at the time I didn't realise that what I'd done was such a sort of a progressive example, but obviously speaking to the coaches and stuff, I've been asked to do sort of talks to these kind of age groups of girls, because this was me. I was playing at this tournament 2-3 years ago, and I mean, if you work right and you perform and you keep your attitude acceptable, then you can definitely work your way up through the ranks. And I think it's actually been quite a good thing for them to have a young almost a role model for them. So I'm really happy to do that, because obviously that's another aspect that might sort of inspire them to keep going and think, actually, I'm not that far off. Because if someone said to me when I was 16, 17, you're 3 years, you're going to be in a senior shirt, then I'd probably laugh at them. But actually, it's genuinely possible. So that's a really nice thought for them, really. All the way up throughout rugby, there are people we look up to. Some 7-year-olds will look up to me. 7-year-old girls playing tag rugby will look up to me. I look up to the England players. I look up to the England men, the England women, and it's just we see what it's taken them to get to where they are. It makes us realise how hard we've got to work and what challenges you're going to overcome, but what rewards you get once you've finished it.
Now, it's up to Fergus now to make it 3-all. Ben Spence from Northern Ireland, and Fergus is straight in there. This is looking very dangerous. Is it enough? Is Fergus doing enough? I think he is. He's got the tight legs, he's got the power in the legs to control him. He's trying to wrap up Ben's right arm. If he can do that, he can look for an arm lock or a strangle. He's keeping it working. He's now looking. Is he going to go? Is there going to be a submission here? He's got some real power with the legs. He's got the outside coming on. He's got the hold down on. Can he keep this hold down on? Look at the efforts. Look at the efforts from Ben to try and get out of this hold down. He's straining every sinew he's got. How strong must he be to be able to contain Ben on his back from there? That's it. 3-all. Morgan MacDonald from Scotland in the white, and we got Jamie McFadden. They both sort of got a grip. Looking for a right-handed shoulder throw. There it is. Morgan's left-handed. Morgan's desperately trying to get his left hand onto Jamie's right lapel. See, there it goes. Now Jamie's got in there like a beaver in the groundwork. He wants it, but he's got to be quick. He's got to convince Bill the referee that something's happening. No scores, 1 penalty. There's a lot going on it. If Northern Ireland could get it, oh, that's good for Morgan. That's massive. And that's a Wazari. Right-handed shoulder throw, Cianagi. So over 2 minutes to go now. Morgan's going again for the right-handed shoulder throw. A little bit predictable that time. Jamie knew it was coming. It's gone again. It's massive again. Well, that was unfortunate. Jamie had no option but to go for it. It was a big 7-point score down. He had no option but to attack. And as always, once you've got to go for it, open up, you can easily get picked up, which Morgan did.
Off we go, clean starts, home straight and back straight. Little bit ragged there from Wales. But they get it together through turn 1 and 2. The Silver Arrows looking like a drilled unit here. Wales slightly down, and that race face of Dolan took the south to her, so there's nothing in this. So as we return back to the stations, the girls will be with 1 kilometre to go. So technically really pulled it together in the back end of this ride. Started a little bit scrappy in that first kilometre.
One of the stars of this year's swimming competition has been Rebecca Redfern. 2 gold medals yesterday, 1 more gold today, and a British record in the S13 100 metres breaststroke. I've been joined by Rebecca now. That's not a bad weekend's work, really, is it?
No, I'm speechless. I've never done anything like it before. The last 4 days have just been amazing. I love going to see other teams compete in athletics and cycling, and in the athletes' village, just chilling with everyone.
How far do you think you can go?
I'm hoping to make Rio. I'm a second off in the 100 breaststroke, which I need to get down before April, and then fingers crossed.
Well done today, well done yesterday. We'll be hoping to hear plenty more of you in the future. This girl's definitely one to watch.
It's been a fantastic 4 days of competition here at the school games. Here's a reminder of some of the best bits.
Time for our social media blowout.
So after the final day of competition, let's take a look at the medal table. England finished top with a total of 132 gold medals. Scotland won 22 golds, Northern Ireland finished with 7 golds, and the rest of the world took 5, while Wales won 3.
So it's goodbye Manchester. Next year the games will be in Loughborough. See you there.